C.F. So Real Madrid Club de Football, commonly referred to as Real Madrid, is a Spanish professional association football club based in Madrid. It currently competes in La Liga, the top tier of Spanish football. Nicknames are Los Blancos, the Whites, Los Merengues, the Merengues. Is that the Meringues? Los Vikingos, the Vikings, or La Casa Blanca, the White House. Reyes de Europa, Kings of Europe, or the Madristas, which are their supporters. So they've got a lot of nicknames. RMA is their abbreviation. Founded on the 6th of March 1902, 123 years ago, as Madrid Football Club. They play at the Estadio Santiago Bernabéu, which we'll look at later, that has a capacity, according to Wikipedia, of 83,186. Their president is the famous or infamous Florentino Perez, and their current manager is Xabi Alonso, who started this season, obviously after Ancelotti left last season, finishing second. Real Madrid is one of the most successful football clubs in the world, and most successful in Europe. In domestic football, the club has won 71 trophies, a record 36 La Liga titles, 20 Copa del Rey, 13 Supercopa de España, and a Copa Eva Duarte and a Copa de la Liga. And they've also been extremely successful in Europe, winning a record 15 Champions Leagues. They also have multiple other departments, such as a basketball team, various football teams, women's football teams. They used to have a handball, a rugby, and a volleyball team as well. I did not know that. As one of the founding members of La Liga, never relegated from the top division, Real Madrid has many long-standing rivalries, most notably the El Clasico with Barcelona and the El Derby Madrileno with Atletico Madrid. The club established itself as a major force in Spanish and European football during the 50s and the 60s, winning 5 consecutive and 6 overall European Cups. The team, which included Alfredo Di Stefano, Ferenc Puskás, Paco Gento, and Raymond Kopa, is considered by some in the sport to be the greatest of all time. Yes, there's some very famous names there. Real Madrid is known for its Galacticos policy, which involves signing the world's best players such as Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane, David Beckham to create a superstar team. In 2009, Madrid signed Cristiano for a record-breaking 80 million from Manchester United. He became the club's and history's all-time top goal scorer. In addition to signing star players, Real Madrid develops homegrown talent for its academy, La Fabrica, which has produced some notable graduates such as Raúl, Iker Casillas, and Dani Carvajal, and has supplied the highest number of players to Europe's top 5 leagues. And they were recognised as the greatest football club of the 20th is the second largest in Spain behind Barcelona's Camp Nou. Named after their legendary president. Have they got any more pictures of it on here? Here we go. So it's not one that I've ever been to. I've never been to mainland Spain. Just the islands, where I actually got the Madrid shirt from that we'll see at the end. Wow. So an old picture from 1951 showing the west facade. And a view of the west facade 60 years later in 2011. Definitely a nice football stadium, one that, although I've never been to, I like watching on the TV, if that makes any sense. Some stadiums just to watch on TV are nice to be in. I don't know if anyone else kind of agrees. Like there's some that when their teams are at home I don't really like, but I always like when the matches are played at the Bernabeu. You just get that feeling of that really sort of enclosed like atmosphere. Let's look at the supporters. During most of our matches, the majority of the seats in the stadium are occupied by season ticket holders, of which the figure is capped at 65,000. And I bet there's a long, long list. Real Madrid's hardcore supporters are the so-called Ultras supporters, or simply Ultras. They are known for their extreme right-wing policies, akin to Barcelona's hardcore group, Boxos Noirs. We won't dwell on them too much. But what we will dwell on are the rivalries. Of course, perhaps, maybe the most famous rivalry in football. The El Clasico. There is an often fierce rivalry between the two strongest teams in a national league, and this is particularly the case in La Liga, where the game between Real Madrid and Barcelona is known as the Classic (El Clasico). From the start of the national competitions, the clubs were seen as the representatives of the two rival regions in Spain, Castile and Catalonia, as well as of the two cities. The rivalry reflects what many regard as the political and cultural tensions felt between the Castilians and the Catalans, seen by one author as a reenactment of the Spanish Civil War. Over the years, the record for Barcelona and Real Madrid is 105 victories to Madrid, 104 victories for Barcelona, and 52 draws as of June 2025. So I think that will need to be updated. It's not usually that Wikipedia is out of date. Some of their stats are wrong, but with stuff like this they usually get it right. But if I'm correct in saying that Madrid won the other day, so that's actually 106 plays 104. All about the Barcelona and Real Madrid rivalry, all the politics. Wow. Talking about ministers and all sorts of things, wow. The club's nearest neighbour is Atletico Madrid, a rivalry being shared between fans of both football teams. Although Atletico was founded by 3 Basque students in 1903, it was joined in 1904 by dissident members of Madrid FC. The two teams met for the first time on the 2nd of December 1906 in the regional championship, with Real Madrid winning 2-1. What's the record between these? I bet it's a lot more in Madrid's favour if they have it. I don't think it's got an overall, has it? No, unfortunately not. Between 1961 and 1989, when Real dominated La Liga, only Atletico offered it any serious challenge, winning league titles in 66, 70, 73 and 77. In 1965, Atletico became the first team to beat Real at the Bernabeu in 8 years. Real Madrid's record against Atletico in more recent times has been favourable. A high point came in the 2002-2003 season, when Real clinched the Liga title after a 4-0 victory at the Vicente Calderón. Atletico's first win over its city rival since 1999 came in the Copa del Rey final in May 2013. Wow, that is a long time. In 2013-14, Real Madrid were finalists of the UEFA Champions League, the first final which boasted two clubs from the same city. Real Madrid triumphed with a 4-1 comeback in extra time. On the 7th of February 2015, Real Madrid suffered their first defeat in 14 years at the Vicente Calderón, a 4-0 loss. On 28th of May 2016, Real and Atletico met again for the Champions League title, which resulted in a win for Real after a penalty shootout at San Siro. Yeah, they played those matches. I remember them both. They were both great games. And then finally, they have a more minor rivalry with Athletic Bilbao. Athletic Bilbao operate a policy of only using local players of the Basque region. Have long since ceased to be a competitive rival. Yeah. Not much of a, like I said, not much of a competitive rivalry between those two in terms of the league title. European rivalries. Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are two of the most successful clubs in the UEFA Champions League and European competition, with Real winning 15 times and Bayern winning 6 times. Although they have never met in a final. Wow, I didn't know that. Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich is the match that has historically been played most often in the Champions League, with 26 matches, 12 wins for Madrid, 11 for Bayern, 3 draws, another close one, with several controversial incidents occurring due to the importance of most of their meetings. Real Madrid supporters often refer to Bayern as the Bestia Negra, the Black Beast. Another match that is often played in European Cup / Champions League is Real Madrid versus Juventus, the most decorated Italian club. They have played each other in 21 matches and have almost perfectly balanced record: 9 wins Juventus, 10 wins Real Madrid and 2 draws. As well as nearly the same goal difference. Wow, Madrid ahead 26-25, that is a close one. They met in the 2002-2003 Champions League semi-finals. The star midfielders Zinedine Zidane, who played for the Bianconeri in the 1998 final, had moved from Turin to Madrid in a world record $77 million deal. Wow. I knew he went for a lot, but I didn't realise it was that much at that time. I want to know, I think we missed out their colours. I want to hear about where it says about the colours that they wear in their shirt, because obviously we have the shirt to look at. I might have here we go, cresting colours, there we go. I love looking at old crests. Their first crest had a simple design consisting of a decorative interlacing of 3 initials of the club, MCF. From Madrid Club de Football in a dark blue on a white shirt. The first change in the crest occurred in 1908 when the letters adopted a more streamlined form and appeared inside a circle, very reminiscent of what we see today. The next change in the configuration of the crest did not occur until the presidency of Pedro Paredes in 1920. At that time, King Alfonso, I don't know what that number is, granted the club his royal patronage, which came in the form the title Real Madrid, meaning royal. Thus, Alfonso's crown was added to the crest, and the club stayed itself Real Madrid Club de Football. So as you can see, very reminiscent of what we still see today. With the dissolution of the monarchy in 31, all royal symbols, the crown on the crest and the title of Real, were eliminated. The crown was replaced by a dark mulberry band of the region of Castile. As we can see, that still remains in some form today. 1841, 2 years after the nationalist victory of the Civil War, the Francoist regime restored the crest Real Corona, or Royal Crown, with the mulberry stripe of Castile retained as well. In addition, the whole crest was made full colour, with gold being the most prominent, and the club went back to its honorific name, Real Madrid Club de Football. The most recent modification to the crest occurred in 2001, when the club wanted to better situate itself for the 21st century and standardise its crest. One of the modifications made was changing the mulberry stripe to a more bluish shade, which is the crest, perhaps the most famous crest in club football, and a very nice clean crest as well. Here's the colours. Real Madrid has maintained the white shirt for its home kit throughout the history of the club. There was, however, one season in 1926 that the shirt and shorts were not both white. It was an initiative undertaken by Joan Pedros in honour of an English team, Corinthian, which he had met on one of his trips, one of the most famous teams at the time, known for its elegance and sportsmanship. It was decided that Real Madrid would wear black shorts in an attempt to replicate the English team, which had also inspired Madrid's original white kit, but the initiative lasted for just 1 year. And here we have an old picture in 1964 wearing their famous all-white shirt. Real's traditional away colours are all blue or all purple. Since the advent of the replica kit market, the club has also released various other one-colour designs, including red, green, orange and black. And they're manufactured by Adidas, and I think there is something down here where we can see Adidas from 81 to 85. Then we had Hummel from 85 through to 94. Kelme from 94 to 98. And then again we've had Adidas from 98 all the way through to now. They've had Zanussi, Parmalat, René Bigot, Otesa, Tika, RealMadrid.com, Siemens Mobile, Siemens, BenQ Siemens, Buin, and Emirates as their sponsors. Okay, let's finish by looking at the current playing squad. As of the 2nd of September 2025, so in goal, Thibaut Courtois, right back, Dani Carvajal, centre back, Eder Militao, centre back, David Alba. We've got centre midfield, Bellingham, Eduardo Camavinga, Vinicius Junior, Federico Valverde, Endrick, Kylian Mbappe, Rodrigo, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andre Lunin, Aurelian Chouameni, Arda Güler, Gonzalo Garcia, Raul Asensio, Alvaro Carreras, Dani Ceballos, Fran Garcia, Brahim Diaz, Antonio Rudiger, Ferland Mendy, Dean Howson, and Franco Mastantuono. I have heard of him before, but I've never tried to pronounce his name. We've got players from their academy, and Mario Martin out on loan. Of course, the main man, Xabi Alonso, at the helm, the manager. Okay, that was a look. We can go back up to the top. That was a look at Real Madrid. Let's jump forward and look at the shirt in more detail. Okay, so let's take a look at a Real Madrid shirt. Los Blancos. So, can you guess what year this shirt is from? It's the 2024 to 2025 home kit. And it was bought by me in Lanzarote. So it is actually a product of Spain. Not that it makes much difference because they are just shipped around the world, but a cool little tidbit. The year that Mbappe signed for Real Madrid, so there was a lot of hype around this shirt. And I must say that I really, really like it. It's simple, but really nice. So, the collar is a simple V-neck collar that I like, nice chunky V-neck with a black band around the portion of it. We have the iconic Adidas 3 stripes down each sleeve, again in black, and the Adidas logo here, where they've removed the Adidas text and just cleaned it up slightly, which I really like. We have the beautifully embroidered Real Madrid crest here. It really is a beautiful crest with the blue stripe marking the province of Castile, the royal crown, and the CMF still evident in there. This, by the way, is the fan player. Sorry, the fan jersey. It's not the player jersey. So any features of this kit will be different to the authentic player version. But I actually have found that I prefer the fan jerseys. I don't want like a super tight fitting football kit. I usually just wear these to relax in. So yeah, I want something a bit looser fitting. And it has a really nice, I hope you can see, like sheen to the pattern. It really comes out nicely in this fan version. It looks like small little M's, I think they're the M. I can't quite tell, but they kind of just sheen against the light. It's really nice. We've got some classic old style air vents on the sort of armpit shoulder area. And as we come down the shirt, we've got their sponsor that they've had for a while now, Emirates. I wish it just said Emirates. It used to look better when it said Emirates, but they've included the Fly Better. That has been heat printed on. And then we've got some nice other mesh, kind of like transparent type material down the side of the sleeve to give it some, down the side of the torso to give it some breathability. That I quite like. Again, just adds to the cleanness of the kit. No arm patches on this one, so no Champions League patch or La Liga patch. And then if we bring it round to the back, we didn't decide to get anybody printed. The shirt was expensive enough, to be fair. The shirt was like €90, I think, which was crazy. A nice clean back of the shirt. Again, just showing off that nice pattern that reflects off the light. I think it shows really nicely there, as you can see. And then this curved design towards the bottom that Adidas employed along a lot of their shirts, that fades into this thinner, more transparent material for breathability. So, a very simple, clean shirt. I wish Mbappe kept his number 9, I think he suited it, but I know that players nowadays have their certain brands that they want to keep hold of, and obviously Ronaldo started as number 9 as well at Real Madrid and moved to the number 7, and Kylian Mbappe started as number 9 and has now moved to number 10, and Endrick's got number 9. January, so we'll see how that goes. But there we have it. The facts and stats of Real Madrid and their 2024 to 2025 home shirt. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do let me know if you would like to see some